What was your reaction the first time you heard Antidote and you heard that ad lib? I always wanted to ask you this.
When I first heard it, I was like, did he just mention me in the song? Rewind that. I'm like, and then I was loving it, and then I was like, and then I started trying to figure it out. I'm like, there's 3 hoes this week. I'm like, okay. Is he talking about does he? I'm like, and then I'm like, what the hell? Is he following me around? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, then I said, well, he must be reference to the championship. You know?
All right. Check this out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Another episode of this Aux Money right here. This one means so much to me, man. Just, me, avid basketball fan. Wouldn't went to the league, but my hamstring just got a little tight. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to get drafted in 2012 or something like that.
2000? Oh, I was gone.
Enough about me. You know what I'm saying? My guy right here, man. If you don't know, as you well should, Big Shot Bob is here. Just means so much to the city because he provided us with our 2 NBA championship rings, you know what I'm saying? Was very, very integral parts of those teams. And, we've gotten close since then, in the 2017, 2018. But you got to see it through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Big Shot has seen it through 7 times, which is outrageous. So, Robert Horry, I appreciate you pulling up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Man, my pleasure.
Yeah.
I always tell people, close don't really count, right?
Exactly.
I know so many people like, man, we almost did, and they be happy.
Uh-huh.
And I always laugh at people when they come in the league. There's like, I want to make it to the NBA finals. I want to make it to the NBA championship.
Right.
I never said that. I said I want to win an NBA title.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's the mindset. So many people are happy just to get there.
Yeah.
I was like, no, because I remember being a big Dream fan and watching them get beat by the Celtics, and I'm like, I don't want to just get there. I want to win that shit.
It's crazy that you 7-0 though.
Yeah.
Like you've never lost the NBA final. You've never been on the other side of the confetti and all that type of shit, which is wild. First of all, I want to say you look great, brother. You know what I'm saying? Black don't crack. I understand you had a birthday not too long ago. This what was it?
54,
a couple days ago, right?
August 25th.
August 25th. What is that? What season is this right now? Is this Virgo season?
Yeah.
Are you big on astrology and all that? I'm gonna say because neither am I. So
I think a person, they are who they are.
Right, exactly.
So either they want to be a certain way or they don't want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So, hey man, happy Virgo season to you anyway.
Thank you.
But I do understand. So, I heard that your birthday actually has a big part in the number that you played in.
Yes.
When
yes.
So, when you were in the league.
Actually, when I was in high school, my high school coach was like, "What number do you want?"
Yeah.
I said, "I want number 32 because I want to be like Magic Johnson." He's like,
Yeah.
"Nah, you need to be yourself." He says, "Nah, pick another number." He says, I was like, I don't know because I've been wearing 32
The whole
like, I want to say my little elementary and
He said,
middle
right.
school. And he said, when's your birthday? I said, August 25th. You're going to wear number 25.
Right.
And that's
Simple
how I
as that.
started wearing 25.
You think it was some deep stories like, nah, my birthday,
No,
bro.
that's my birthday number. Yeah. So I'm lucky it wasn't like, 19 or something like that, or 28, but 25 worked out perfectly.
Wow, bro. So, real quick before we get into the deep basketball talk, just you being here, we were talking a little bit just now about just the whole multimedia space, and I know you got Big Shot Bob podcast now, and you're doing a lot of work with like Lakers Spectrum and all that type of stuff. How's it been, just that transition from playing for so long in the league to now being on the other side, with the commentary? And
It's so hard because when you're at home watching the game, F-bombs, shits, dams, everything comes out of your mouth, especially when you invested in a team, and I'm sitting there. And I had to learn how to not get too invested, meaning that you can't curse, you can't do things of that nature. But nowadays everybody curses on TV, so I just had to learn how to sit back and just take a step back, take a deep breath, and just say what you see. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of the LA fans, they appreciate what I do because I say what I see. And a lot of times commentators or analysts try to sugarcoat it, but fans aren't stupid. Their eyes just saw what we saw.
Hey, right.
And so we just have to tell them what we saw and give them from our perspective and tell them. So I think that's what I think a lot of people appreciate about me because I'm gonna be honest. If you suck, you suck because I said that about myself. And a lot of guys in the league today, they won't be honest when they have a bad game. They this or that. Just be honest, man. You can't be perfect every night.
Exactly. It's very tough too. But why you choose the Lakers network and not the Rockets network? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't come
Funny story. The Rockets came to me actually before the Lakers.
Yeah.
And
Okay, word.
they wanted me to do their television.
I was just making sure it wasn't lacking.
No, it wasn't lacking, but
Yeah.
it's at the time I was like, I was still living here in Houston. I was just okay. Then it was so weird. 2 days later, the Lakers called me. And it was like, do you want A, meaning the price that the Rockets were offering, or B, what the Lakers were offering? And the Lakers were offering double what the Rockets were offering.
Come on, Rockets, man. What we doing, man?
And so, you know, you think about it like,
Yeah.
I still, my residence here, there's no state tax, so I'm getting all that money. So I ended up taking the Laker gig.
Hey, man, gotta be fresh at the feds watching, man. I'm telling you, for real.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope, man. But so let's go back to the.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm paying like hella taxes now that I'm out there in LA.
Right?
Yeah. So,
For sure. But yeah, let's go back to these. Now we talking about the Houston Rockets, man. I know you really love that team and you really wanted to get drafted there. So, what was that moment like? Actually, hearing your name called to the team that you wanted to, because that very rarely happens. You know
Man, it very rarely happens because when you coming out of college, I looked at every team and I was like, I could do damage with the Rockets. I will fit in perfect with the Rockets. And the crazy part is when I came into my tryout, it was the worst tryout I had. I couldn't make a shot. I was sick. I was coming out, you know, the thing about me when I was coming out of college, nobody actually knew what I was. It was like, is he a 3? Is he a 4? Is he a 5?
Yeah.
So I went to like 8 different teams. So it was from Denver, who had like the number 5 pick, all the way down to Indiana, who had a 13 pick. And so I was doing a lot of traveling. I was on a plane. I would get off a plane, go straight to a workout, get back on a plane, and go do another workout. So it was very taxing on the body.
Yeah.
And so when I got to the Rockets, I'm feeling like, well, I just knew I wasn't going to get drafted by the Rockets because I had the worst workout. And one of the scouts didn't like me. He said I was like, this was the funny part. He said, oh, he's terrible on defense. I'm like, I'm the best defender in the SEC. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
And so, and it was just one of those things. And when I got drafted, man, I'm like, I was so excited. I was so happy. I literally was hit in the next 2 days. You know, it wasn't like before. Like now, they send the plane for you and you go straight to. It wasn't like that. Go home, do what you need to do, and then come here. So I was like, I'm out. I wanted to be in this city. I wanted to learn this city. And I want to get acclimated to my teammates. And at the time, I was scared because that's when Dream was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm like, no, don't leave, Dream.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why was that? What was even going on at the time? This was
you know, back then when you were a big dog, they wanted new contracts every 2 years.
There was only so many for it. Yeah.
But you know what? It's because when David Robinson came in, he said, oh, I want a contract. And I think in David Robinson's contract, he had to be either second or third highest paid player every time. So he didn't worry about it. He just sat back like, oh, you get paid? My contract goes up. And so everybody saw that, so they wanted to be higher, you know, get higher paycheck.
I know Shaq was dealing with the same thing at that time, for real.
But man, Houston is my home. I don't even call Alabama my home anymore. I call Houston home.
We're glad to have you, brother. You know what I'm saying? So I want to break down, obviously, you talked a lot about those 2 championships. We'll get into the repeat in a second. But I want to know what the city was like. Because I was, 3 or 4 years old when this was going on. So I want to know what the city was like in 94 and 95 with the Summit, even just musically, what was going on at that time.
You know, for me, it was weird because it was a time where, you know, we had the Oilers. And they lost that, you know, it was 34-3, and they lost that game to the Buffalo Bills. So the city was down.
So lived in Mo City at the time.
And then we come out, then we was down, you know, 0-2 to the Phoenix Suns, and it was just, and then we won it. It was just like, finally.
Yeah, for real.
City, great city, never won a championship in anything. Finally won a championship. It was like a dark cloud was lifted. Everybody was hyped. I remember the best thing about that was everywhere I went, I think for the next 6 months, I ain't paid for anything.
Oh.
I could have walked in the grocery store and then just walked down and they'd be like, oh, that's just Robert. Hey, thank you for the championship, man. And I tell you, when you win a championship and for a city that's been starving for one, man, it was the best thing ever, man. Even you know, I don't speed, but I even got pulled over by a cop. And he was like, you need an escort home? I'm like, sure, let's go.
No way.
And so it was just great, man. It was just great.
The privileges out the roof, for real. That's wild. What was like the music scene like in Houston? Because I feel like it was before, like Fat Pat and all of them was a little later 90s. It was like Ghetto Boys times. So was it like a Houston rap scene, or were you listening to like?
No, it was Houston. It was all Scarface. You know,
exactly.
We used to hang out this one place, and Ghetto Boys used to be in all the time. We used to hang out with them. You know, it was just, you know, I think for me, Brad, Scarface, that was just, I loved his music. And that's one thing about being in the NBA. You get to meet certain people that you admire so much for their craft. And just to be able to sit down, break bread with him, and just hang out him.
Yeah.
I remember one time I'm sitting at a booth and I feel a tap on my shoulder. It's Bushwick Bill. I'm like, oh shit, what's up, bro? And it's just those things don't happen to people who aren't in a position as athletes, entertainers. I mean, other people just admire your craft too. So for me, it was a blessing just to be a part of all that.
Yeah, because Houston is a city, man. Like even just traveling the world, especially in America, I feel like Houston is one city that looks back more than every other city will really appreciate what was going on in like 94 and 95. And like, that was really the times that made us, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was 3 years old, but I know all about the Ghetto Boys, and, you know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. But we really appreciate it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I was asking, like, what really was going on? Like, how did it feel in 94 and 95? Because we wear the T-shirts, we wear all the merch that say two-stand and all that, the back-to-back, and even with the comments, the back-to-back, back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? That's like our whole city's legacy.
You don't even talk about comments. I'm so disappointed that they're not here anymore. You think about the legacy that they was starting and what they were building, and all of a sudden they were just gone.
Right.
Oh man,
I still don't understand that.
You have to pay less. That's why I call Les Alexander pay less. But it's it's just one of those things where he felt like at the time they wasn't making the money that they should be. But you winning championships. You think about what Cheryl Swoops, one of the greatest female basketball players ever, Tina Thompson.
Right. Shaped the WNBA for real.
They were doing their thing, man. Like, and the best thing I liked about them? They would come actually play with us.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they would come. Like,
Cheryl give y'all some work. Don't even lie.
Hey, I remember we had this one rookie on the team. I can't remember who it was, but Cheryl had her patented move, and she was killing him. He was getting frustrated. Then he was trying to body. I said, "Don't get mad because she killing you with the same
crazy.
move." I'm like, so. Man, the Cheryl could go, man. She was one of the players I used to love to just watch. Yeah.
Side note, just not how you feel about the WNBA and where it's going from like the last decade.
I'm so happy for it, man, because I've always liked female sports. I love female softball. I know.
Right.
I love softball. I love watching that. I used to, because I went to Alabama. Our gymnastic team was really good. Our track team was good. So you get these females and you get to watch them. You get to support them. So it's kind of in your DNA now. And so for me, I love watching beautiful basketball. Watching whoever it plays and see if they can go out. I think when people watch the WNBA, they expect it to be like NBA, dunks and all this kind of stuff. But if you're a basketball purist and you watch their skill set, not all of them, some of them, they got a skill set better than a lot of guys.
Yeah, I saw Melo saying like if you really want to learn the game, you got to watch women's basketball.
Yeah, because they have to be technical because they can't dunk, they can't jump out the gym, but they have to make precise passes. They have to be footwork, they have positioning. So you watch Asia Wilson, some of her footwork is like dream,
next level, right? For real. And their jump shot forms always be perfect for something. I don't know. Women always got just perfect jump shot form for real. Yeah. But so I want to ask you, which is wild that you brought up defense earlier when you going through all your camps and everything before you got drafted, because you still have the record for most steals in the finals game.
Yeah.
With 7 in 95. So what was your approach to defense in that game in particular? Why did you have so many steals in that shit?
Well, Penny and I had the same agent at the time.
Yeah.
And so me and Penny were pretty close, and we played in the summertime right over here. And so you kind of, the one thing about people, you can pick up their tails. It's like poker. You can pick up their tails. And, Penny come down. All you got to do is just turn your head. And Penny was always trying to do those flashy passes sometimes. Yeah. And you just turn around, you pick it off.
Right.
And for me,
7 times is okay.
Yeah. And the funny part is I dropped 2 out of bounds, so I would have had 9 steals. But
for real.
Yeah. And so, and plus, this is what I always loved about Rudy T. He allowed me to be me. He says, your recovery time is pretty good. You're long, you're lanky, you're fast. And so I could literally cover the floor really good. So if I see a lob pass, I go for the steal. And at the time, I'm going Horace Grant. And so I'm like, you ain't shooting no 3, so I ain't got that much room to cover. So I would go for steals, and I was just lucky that game to get those 7 steals. And so
that's wild.
I still remember the 95 championship because
that was the one.
We were balling.
Yeah, that was the one.
Flat out balling in that series.
Even if Mike was, fully integrated in the league, I still would have beat the Bulls that year.
And the funny people forget, Mike came back, and everybody said, well, he wasn't in shape yet. That's some bullshit. He dropped a double nickel on New York when he came back. He just didn't have the crew. And this goes to show you, you have to have a crew with you. I don't care how good you are.
No, for real.
If your team is not worthy, they're not going to get you a championship. And at that time, they weren't worthy. You know what he did? He said, okay, I got to get Tony Kukoc. Okay, I got to get Dennis Rodman. I got to get I got to get a good bench.
Right.
You know?
The '96 team was totally.
He
different.
went and got a whole new crew
because he
had to because he know he wasn't going to beat anybody without a new crew.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, you brought up I wasn't gonna say this word at all because I don't want to discredit anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're a spiritual guy or anything like that, but you brought up the word luck.
Yeah. And
I was gonna say, Robert Horry's not a lucky guy; he's a prepared guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I was going through these statistics and all of that, and I'm seeing that in '95 you had the 7 steals in the game, and in 1997 you had the most threes in the game without missing, which is 7, right? Also, I noticed that you have 7 rings. You collected your 7th one in 2007. Overall, you averaged 7 points a game at the end of your career, and you were 25, which is 2 + 5 equals 7. So I'm not trying to say it's luck, but I'm just saying there's something, divine about all of this with the number 7. What does that number mean to you? Because I know it's like in your Instagram and all that type of shit. So.
It means a lot to me. You know, if you think about it, 2-5 from even Cameron, who my son.
Right.
He's February 5th. 2-5.
All right.
That's 7 follows me around.
That's wild. Have you like really realized that?
I've always realized it, and for me,
that's crazy.
I'm spiritual, but not spiritual where you go into like 7s means this, 7 means that, and I just look back sometimes at that number and say, man, I'm a lucky guy. Yeah, and everybody always thinks the number 7 is a luck, and for me, it's one of those things where I'm gonna say it on this podcast. I never said, well, I just sit back sometime in the bed and I just start smiling. Yeah, I start crying because it means so much to me on the fact that I don't think I'm ever gonna get in the Hall of Fame because people don't look at what you do as a basketball player. They look at what you did statistically. And for me,
intangibles. You know what I'm saying? It's
and for me, if you look at every team I've ever been on, they were always missing something, and I provided that something to get them over that hump. Right. And then whatever they need, take 2005 where we was like not playing well, and I said, you know what, get on my back, guys. So I carried the second half. Tim Duncan, you're not making shots. Manu, get on my back. And there's those things that you have to be able to do. And for me, to win those 7 championships, to have that number 7, to sit back and say one more than Jordan, everybody think he was the greatest. And I just laugh because, every time someone mentions how great a player is and this, and they talk about championships. Right. And it's like everybody talks about that's the measure. But when it comes to me, it was like, oh, he played with Dream. Oh, he played with Shaq and Kobe. Oh, he played with the big 3 in San Antonio. Right. I said, yeah, but at the end of the day, you need some glue.
Nah, for real.
You need some glue to make them people do what they need to do. Right. And if you go back and look at all those greats from Clyde, there's nobody that I played with that I didn't yell at and didn't treat them any different than I treated Tim Bro, who was the 12th man on the team. Yeah, exactly. Because to me, I'm like, we got to play this game. The game is to win. I don't care if you make $20 million. That's got to make $200,000. We're a team. We yell at each other, and at the end of the day, we hug each other, and we respect each other.
Yeah, that's the thing about fans, man. A lot of times, they don't really get to see, you hear the word locker room so much when it comes to like coaching and locker room presence. We don't really get to see that type of shit. So for you to say that, it really just explains, why these rings are getting won is because there's small things that happen.
It was so many times where me and Dream would just talk about the game. People think leadership, and you see all these dudes like beating on their chest, being demonstrative. That ain't really being a leader. That's just showing the world what you're doing. A leader is you can take the big whoever it is and sit down and say, "Yo, man, you're messing up. This is what we need to do to correct it." Yada yada yada. Right. And I think if you don't do it in front of someone. They respect it more because you're not trying to embarrass them. You're not trying to show them up. You're just being real with them. Right. And there's not a player in the league that don't want you to be real with him, but he don't want you to embarrass him in front of everybody that's trying to show him up because that is a no-no. And you don't do that. And I've never been like that. I will always talk to people on the side. Yo, man, this is what I see. If you don't agree with me, let's watch the film and then we figure it out together. Exactly. Hey, man, beautifully said, man. Robert Horry here, man. Yes, sir. I'm telling you. Yes, sir. But so we broke down these 2 rings with the Rockets, and then we gotta talk. That first one cost me though.
Why you say that?
Oh man,
that 94 ring.
Yeah, that 94 ring against New York.
What was that?
I had 7 stitches in my arm. I had 2 sprained wrists. I had a hairline fracture.
Who was playing dirty like that? I know it's New York, but goddamn,
man, that's New York. Right. That's Charles Smith, Charles Oakley, the late great Anthony Mason. Patrick. You think about that's That's 4 players right there. That's probably about 2,000 pounds right there.
No, for real.
Shit. So you go, you know, back then I was only wearing like 215.
Yeah.
So I was
you ain't have 7 steals in that game.
No, I had 7 stitches.
Yeah, 7 stitches. No, for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. We love you always for those 2 back-to-back rings here in Houston, Texas, man. But next we got to talk about this 3-peat because I know in Houston we tried to get that 3-peat. It didn't really work out. But in LA, you actually made it happen. So, what was the biggest? Obviously, Kobe and Shaq were there. Yeah. But what was the biggest difference between the 3rd ring in LA and why you didn't think we got one in Houston?
Well, I think
what's so hard about the actual 3-peat?
When we got to Houston, with the 3-peat in Houston, we didn't add enough pieces. You know, Sam Cassell, you know, that's my dog. You know, he and I were coming into our own. Yeah, and it's like we needed one other piece. And I look at the team they brought in after I left. I'm like, me and Sam talk about this all the time. If you'd have added those veteran pieces, Kevin Willis, and some other pieces with us, we'd have been able to win another championship.
Right.
But they was expecting us to do it, but we were losing pieces because, you know, Otis was gone, Clyde was there, and we didn't have a power forward, and I couldn't play power forward, you know, the whole season. So that's when we just didn't have the personnel. And let's be honest, we didn't have the personnel. But in LA, when you got 2 big dogs like Shaq and Kobe, you just need to add glue pieces. You know, we had Harp, we had Rick Fox, we had Derek Fisher, and each year we got AC Green. That one year, the next year we had Horace Grant. You know, we kept adding like retooling the power forward because you knew I was going to be coming off the bench, and it's so weird. I could only play like 28 minutes a game because my body was at that time was getting more mature. Right.
Because you got drafted what, 92?
They got drafted in 92, but you know, like as you get more years, it's really taxing on the body and the way you play.
Especially back then, how y'all used to hoop, man. It's
like for me, I was that guy always running all over the floor, trapping, and then running back to my guy. And so that wears you out. And so for me, it was just one of those things where we had the personnel. And you know, and let's be honest. Shaq and Kobe, man. Let's be honest. You know, no disrespect to Dream and Clyde because they were just as dynamic. But them 2 right there,
and they primes,
they was on a whole nother level. Man.
It was up. It was up. Yeah, man. I was a big. I'm not gonna lie. I was a big Sixers fan at the time in 2001. Man, my brother still live in Philly now, so I was upset because Philly won Game 1 of that first ring of the 01. I know you was gonna say that.
No, for real. If you go back and look at that game, Dick Bavetta, he called a foul on me. I'm running past Mutombo, and I just, you know, jump across and do like this, and he calls a foul in a crucial moment. We all like, what the hell? Is there something on the floor? Mutombo goes and shoot free throws, and they send it to overtime, and they win. Right, I'm like, what the hell, man? But they paid for it after that, I'll tell you that.
No, they definitely a little gentleman sweep, you know what I'm saying? We'll take it. It wasn't so lucky that game, that was. And then, so after the 3-peat with the Lakers, we go, obviously, to Spurs. Do you think that game in 2005, do you think that was the best game you ever played?
It was in the playoffs, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in the playoffs it was. Because if you think about it, in the first half, I sucked. Right. You know? And I remember I was in the locker room because I used to put my locker off to the side during the playoffs because I was trying to get my mind right. I'm like, come on, Horry, you fucking suck. I'm like, Big Shot Bob, you ain't no fucking Big Shot Bob. This is what I'm telling myself, right? And then I remember Bruce Bowen looking at me like, this nigga crazy.
Yeah, right.
And then after that, we came out, and you know, I just was focused, man. And I remember Eminem was behind the bench. He was talking shit.
Damn.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out here and be focused. And the crazy thing about that is, I tell people all the time, it goes to show you when you locked in, and you a player who doesn't have any plays run for you. And you still, because Pop ran no plays. As hot as I was, you go back and look at every shot I took, it was either a forced shot or something I created. And I'm not a creator. Right. Only thing I like come off picks and shoot or, you know, flares and shoot. But then I was like, nope, I'm on fire. So I'm just going to take over. And for me, and I still get mad to this day, like, dude, if you'd have ran some fucking plays for me, I probably have 40 in the second half. You know? But
for real.
Kept running through 10, which I don't mind because I'm a team player.
Right.
We
got the ring.
We won that game, so that's all that matters.
Right, for real. So I'm glad you start walking us through that shot. So what we did is we got our lovely monitor right here. And we got some of Big Shot Bob's biggest shots. And we're going to ask you to walk us through what you were just thinking mentally at these points.
Open man is Elijah Wan. Shoot the ball. Gotta take that. Robert Horry hits the jumper.
Oh, that's my first one right
That's
there.
the first one.
I was 0 for 8 in this game.
For
Yes, that was my first shot. I was 1 for 9. 1 for 9. And this is when they started calling me Big Shot Bob.
After that,
After this game right here.
See, man.
Yeah,
This
this is the start of Big Shot Bob.
Just make sure that one is the one.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how you start; it's how you finish.
That's how you finish. Got the dub.
Yeah, I fake to my boy Sam Cassell in the corner, take the shot.
So we got here. Is this against New York right here?
Nah, this is Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is 95.
Yeah, this is 95. I had to give you a secret. Look at the three-point line. It was moved in
Pause
this
it real
year.
quick, Kim. Pause it.
See the three-point line? It's moved in. People forget that this is the year they moved the three-point line. So that's why we led the league, the Houston Rockets, as a team in three-pointers.
Okay, so after this year, they moved it back.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And for me, when they moved, I was a small forward. They put me at power forward. Horace Grant wasn't going to guard me.
Right.
He wasn't going to be able to rotate out to
All the
me
way
as
out
far.
there,
Yeah. And I have to credit Dream a lot. Dream changed his game up big time when he started trusting us even more. Like when he started giving us a shot,
right.
he started giving us the confidence, man. When your star player believes in you, that's the biggest confidence booster out there.
Got the good fade right there. I see you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is one of my favorite plays right here. Yeah, this is like doing the finals. It's like, and it's funny. Like Kobe was like, "Damn, I didn't know you still could dunk like that."
Right.
I'm like, I said, "Oh, I save everything for the playoffs." You know that. This is like this is the Kobe. Yeah, this is Kobe stopping Ruben Patterson, and of course Scotty want to bite, take the charge. Kobe always looks for me. He always finds me. Damon Stoudemire stomping next to me. He actually eventually played with me in the San Antonio Spurs. So this is just a fun game, man. We went on to win another championship after this. So
Right.
yeah, loading it up, getting to my spot.
Corner specialist on diamond.
Can you pause it? I'm gonna tell you about this play. You wanna know what the name of this play is?
What's this?
It's called What the Fuck. This is what Phil Jackson would literally put the bird up and say, "This is what the fuck we were supposed to run." The crazy part about this is Kobe didn't run it right.
Okay.
You see me? I'm coming to send him a pick, and he turned it down. He went the other way. He was supposed to come off that pick, the same lob that you saw him do against Portland, Shaq. He was supposed to do that. Like, see.
So what do you think right now? Let me
Right
just
now,
keep my spot with
I'm
the
waiting
fade.
on Kobe to kick it back.
Right.
He always kicks it back to me. And people are like, why you at the three-point line? Kobe kicks it back. Kobe sees me all the time. Now, one person Kobe trusted was me.
Right.
Yeah, so, I'm still out here waiting for the three. And people always like, why are you back? Because the instincts kick in where you like, okay, I'm a game. I want to win a game. I ain't trying to go into overtime. These motherfuckers kicking our ass this whole game. We can't take this chance to go to overtime. So I'm not going to. I already hit 2 threes before this, so I was hot.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the biggest shot of your career? Right, that one?
Yeah,
that's the most notable.
That's the most notable. To be honest with you, they're about the same, this one and the one you about to show,
Jermaine
but
O'Neal.
because you at home in a Laker uniform,
right.
it makes it that much better.
That's exactly.
See, this play, it wasn't even supposed to be to me. It was supposed to be dumped down to Tim, and Tim was supposed to go to work. But Rasheed bit. I was like, dude, why'd you do that, man? I already knocked down 5 threes. You don't want to do that with me. So, and it was just, man, for me, that moment, that series, after going,
Yeah. Is that Jermaine O'Neal shot on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, Jermaine O'Neal one?
Yeah.
But
it's like the same, like a similar thing.
The weirdest part about it, there's a shot that nobody talks about. That my first year with the Houston Rockets, Game 7, second round, we playing the Seattle Supersonics in Seattle.
Yeah.
I hit a big shot from the corner to send it into overtime. We eventually lose that game,
right.
so it doesn't really count, But that, to me, that was a big confidence booster for me.
And the ice in the veins.
Yeah, because you think about then, Dream kicks it to me, Otis, Vernon, K-Smith. So these are confidence boosters that lead up to each moment that you just saw. So,
right.
It doesn't get talked about because we lost the game. But
it's still a huge shot.
To me, mentally, that was a big moment.
That was the unlock moment right there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch it up to just musically right now.
Okay.
Because I feel like to hit all these crazy shots, to be in these clutch moments, you got to be a very cool, calm, relaxed soul. You know what I'm saying? So what music did you grow up listening to? What was even into your career, what was your pregame playlist like? Was it calm or were you still?
No,
it was a high energy situation.
It was mostly high energy.
Oh, for real?
I'm going to go back to the first time I ever got a car, and all I played going to games was Public Enemy.
Oh, you was on. You was on militant time.
I was on public enemy, man. You got to think about it. I had to get, it's so weird because I used to try to go into games in Alabama mad. I want to go in mad. I want to just, try to dominate and, be angry at everybody. And then I realized it's a thinking man's game. You can't go in with that mentality. You got to just go in on a calm situation. And then when I got older, it was like Heavy D, stuff like that. That was like, Heavy D could have those feel good,
them good dance records, for real.
Exactly. So and then by the time I got to the Spurs, it was just like I need silence. I need silence because I want to get my mind right. And then because I started like, when you get older, your body is not as fast as it used to be. You don't jump as high. So you had to mentally prepare in a different way. So for me, as I got older, it was more just silence, like going through everything through my head, what I have to do, and more importantly, what the opponent, whoever I got to guard, what their favorite moves are, what their go-to moves are, whatever it may be. So I had to do all that. So it changes.
A lot more focus.
Yeah, a lot more focus. Because when you're young, you can just get by with a lot of talent sometimes.
Yeah.
As you grow older, the talent ain't what it used to be. So you got to be mentally ready.
Yeah. So what about now as a former NBA player? What are your music tastes like? What I know we talked earlier about going to concerts and all of that. What do you listen to now for real?
I really listen to anything that has my name in it. Well, it's funny.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the biggest flex I think we had on this show so far. For real. That might be the biggest Aux Money flex we had.
You know what's weird? My camera has really got me into what's this name? I can't think of his name.
You know what you're talking about,
Cam? Rod Wave. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Rod Wave. So I've been listening to a lot of Rod Wave, and of course Travis Scott. Of course, being in LA, all we hear is who, Kendrick Lamar.
So at this point,
but it's like I just love all types of music. I even like country music, and people say, "Well, you're from Alabama." I didn't start liking country music till about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So, but when I'm cooking, I like to cook as my hobby. I throw in a little jazz, make me inspired.
Yeah, that's me too. I listen to a lot of jazz, cooking, a little wine or whatever. What was your reaction the first time you heard Antidote and you heard that ad lib? I always wanted to ask you this.
When I first heard it, I was like, "Did he just mention me in the song? Rewind that shit." I'm like, and then I was loving it, and then I was like, and then I started trying to figure it out. I'm like, just fuck 3 hoes this week. I'm like, okay. Is he talking about what does he? I'm like, and then I'm like, what the hell? Is he following me around? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, then I said, well, he must be reference to the championship,
All right.
And it's so funny. It's funny. The one time I did meet Travis, he was at a Rockets game, and I tried to play it really cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to take a picture with him. He took a picture with me, but I was like, okay, yeah. And I was like, I didn't want to be like, okay. But it was really funny. And in my position, you meet a lot of people. And I always try to play it cool in the back of my mind, like, you dumbass, you should have took a picture with them.
I know, for real. You can't be too cool, man. Me, myself, busy. Zoe, we all talking about all the time. Because at this point,
because you want to respect their time,
you want to respect
man.
it,
and they get asked for pictures all the time. So
exactly,
like, I don't want to just be one of those people to just say, "Yo, get a picture." So it's a few times that like the late great Whitney Houston, I didn't get a picture.
Oh no, see now we're gonna normalize
and
really taking care of these moments. And I'm not even just gonna say taking advantage of these moments. It's really taking care of these moments for real. And then a lot of times, even there might be a person that wants to take a picture with you, and the person you're asking really wants to take a picture with you as well.
Yeah.
So. But since y'all both too cool, it's like, nah, we just both not in the history books or whatever.
But a lot of times you just want to get to talk to a person.
That's it.
I will say the one time I said fuck it was when I met Dave Chappelle. I was like, fuck it. Dave Chappelle, one of the greatest.
Come on now.
I got to take this picture. So, so I will admit that I made my wife take that picture. What are some of the best, we talked about concerts, what are the best concerts you've been to recently? All time, actually, what are the best concerts you've seen? I know you've been to a lot. I know, I've been to a lot. I think for me, I tell you, I just went to the Travis Scott concert, and I've never seen a crowd that hyped before. I had just come from the Taylor Swift concert, and it was like, And then I went to the Missy Elliott concert, and went to the Nita Baker concert. For me, out of all the concerts, I'm not even gonna lie, the Usher concert in Vegas was awesome.
Yeah.
Because think about it, who comes out on roller skates, man? Who comes out on roller skates? Yeah, and then you got, me growing up from the South. I'm used to, going to the strip clubs when I was a little kid, and then you got the strip club going on in the back,
right.
so. But for me, I just think the way Usher performed, what he's able to do, and I think it's always different when you're up close,
right.
And like a lot of times I go to concerts, I'm in the suite. So like with Travis's concert, we were dead on, we could see everything, but you didn't really get that energy like you wanted to.
That's what I mosh pit where it's at, man. Next time you might have to jump in there.
I ain't going no damn mosh pit. Don't you over that shit? No, I'll be just jumping from the suite. But it's so I always say artists are so special. I mean, special in the way that they have to be on point. They have to remember their songs. Then they had to ad-lib sometime to be able to get back on track and just start doing their craft is amazing to me. So I just look at something, I just be in amazement that they can remember this shit and they can then dance to this shit.
Right.
And then they can take a moment, go get redressed. See, that's one of the things I want to do. I just want to be backstage to see how many times, what they do when it comes to changing outfits.
Yeah.
Do they take a break? Do they, it's like, man, I need to take a break.
Just go back there and
put my
smoke
shit
real
on.
quick.
Let's go. Yeah, because you think I was just with, we were at the Taylor Swift concert. I think she changed like 20 times.
Right.
I haven't seen Beyonce, but I heard she changes even more.
She changed a couple times.
Okay.
Come on, the Queen guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's one concert I want to go see. I haven't had a chance to see Beyonce.
Yeah.
I've seen like...
Highly recommend for sure.
So, if you think about stars, I was able to see Patti LaBelle. I was able to see Luther. I was able to see Whitney Houston. I love music, man. I can't sing. I can't rap. I can't play a fucking note.
We'll get you some auto-tune. You'll be straight. We'll record your album upstairs. We'll be straight. The Big Shot Bob album. So, all right. So check this out. We got this little concept we do here. It's called DJ Scenarios, right?
Okay.
So I'm glad you said how much you love music because we're going to see some preferences real quick. So the first DJ scenario is after you hit that shot against the Kings where Vlade Divac slaps the ball back to you. You're not Robert Horry. You're the arena DJ. And Robert Horry just hit that shot. What song would you play after that?
I can tell you when I hit that shot what they played. I wouldn't play that song. They played Sweet Home Alabama. But I wouldn't play that song. At the time, it was this one song by Exhibit. I don't remember what it was, but it was just like, I remember because I just loved that song. It had a great beat to it. And this is the other thing I don't remember the name of songs.
Yeah.
But you put it on, I can, but it's...
More of a beat person.
Yeah, I'm more of a beat person. I'm from the South, man. That's what we do, beats.
The drums,
from
man.
Back in, Luke and,
Trunks.
all that type of people,
For
like
sure.
DJ Magic Mike and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, not for real.
So I don't know, man. That's one of those things I have to go home and think about it and come back to you. Because I was just with Vanessa Bryan at the Dodger game.
Yeah.
And we were both talking about, our songs. And she was talking about Kobe's song when he hit a shot. It was dun, 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 the Dark Vader song, the Sith song. And I'm like, oh yeah, he did play. He said because he wanted to seem,
like a menace.
like a menace. So I was like, shit. He said, and she said, yeah, I remember yours. I said, what was it? Sweet Home Alabama? I'm like, yeah, it was. I said, I didn't really like it.
I didn't pick this shit.
Yeah. And then but it's just, I love music, like I said, but to be able to sit and think about a song like that, I had to take some time because you wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So I wasn't just off the top
That
of my
moment
dome and say,
especially.
oh, this. So it would have to be perfect in a moment like that.
Yeah. All right. Next DJ scenario. Were you locked in on the Olympics? Did you watch the gold medal game this year?
Yes.
So, all right. The scenario is you're Steph Curry and you just shit on everybody. You just shit on the whole entire world in this gold medal game. And they call the last time out after you hit your last three. What are you playing in your headphones after a performance like that?
My goodness. At the time he said he was tired of listening to Kendrick Sunday.
He did say that.
So
we know we're gonna scratch that off the list.
Yeah, he probably, since he's from the Bay, I'm gonna throw him some Too Short. So he's probably gonna do. He's probably throwing some. That's not. What's that song by Too Short? That's my bitch. Just like dun 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 dun. That's my bitch.
Oh yeah, the old yeah.
It's that one song. So that'd be. I'm trying to give him something from the Bay Area. So that'd probably be something I would play.
Okay.
See, I don't know in music, man.
Right.
I just love it.
The train of thought is there. The train of thought is there. All right. So, trust me, we're gonna ask both sides of this question. Don't think you gotta pick a side and nothing like that. But so first, you are the arena DJ at a Democratic National Convention, and Kamala Harris walks out, and you need to play one song. What would you play?
Shit, she got it right, I think, with Beyonce song.
Right.
I think she got it totally right. I've never had a chance to meet Kamala.
Howard University, you know what I'm saying? Legend,
I know, right? And it's being in California, we've been in the same place at the same time, but I never got a chance to meet her. So I think she got it right with the Beyonce song. Yeah.
Hats off to that. And on the other side, Donald Trump walks out at the Republican National Convention. What would you play?
He'd probably play some Looney Tunes for his ass. I had some Donald Duck shit or some goofy shit. So yeah. That's all, folks.
That's all. Get that nigga. That's all, folks. Donald Duck for sure. That's hilarious. And the last one.
Have you ever seen the picture of the duck and he turn it upside down and it looks like Donald?
We might have to pull that up real quick.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just one picture, man. Someone like they do it like it's Donald is like a little duck. Meme. Yeah, it's a little meme. He's a duck, and then it turn it upside down as Donald.
So all right, so the last DJ scenario, you're DJing Jeff Bezos' next wedding. And they just do the toast and all of that, and you got to play the song for Hit It DJ. What you gonna play?
Jeff Bezos? Shit. Who's he married to now?
Is he even married right now? Is he married right now? He just got divorced. He's with somebody, but I don't know if they got married.
I don't think they're married, though.
Yeah. It's his next wedding, and you the DJ after the toast. What would you play?
Shit. Yeah. Probably. That's a good one, man. Yeah.
Was it the OJ's? Was it all high players? Know that.
I can't even think of one.
Some money.
Yeah.
Something along
That's
the
probably
lines.
her song, not his song. Because she just married into the money. But
Right, for real.
It's probably for him. Like I was like, he probably got to come up with something like, I ain't giving you none of my money.
Right,
He
for
probably
real.
like, I'm like, this is my shit.
We want prenup.
Yeah,
Type
actually,
shit.
that's what he want. We want prenup exactly.
All right, so to bring it back to basketball, we got some start bench cut scenarios for you.
Oh shit.
All right. Yeah, I know these tough. You know what I'm saying? First one, we're gonna just come out the gate. Dream, Shaq, Tim Duncan. Start bench cut.
I'm starting Shaq, but here's the thing. I'm starting Shaq because I get to pick the year.
Exactly. No, whatever. Yeah.
So
You set your own parameters.
Starting
with that.
Shaq, bench and Dream, cutting Tim.
Why is that?
Because I just think people don't understand how good Dream was.
Not for real.
You know, and I've seen each one up close. You know, there's no disrespect to Tim because you got to cut one. I think, Dream, what he was able to do on the court defensively and offensively, and Shaq for his pure dominance.
Right.
Tim's skill set was great, but at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna have Dream in the game at the end of the game because Tim, Shaq, they ain't gonna suck at the free throw line. So I don't want them in the damn game. So I'm taking that's my two. Yeah.
Right. Tim Duncan jeans sometimes we'll cut him for that. Sometimes his outfits was a little wacky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out Tim Duncan, man.
Yeah, just for him having his tongue pierced that time, like really? No.
Yeah. So some things are just bigger than basketball. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're going international here. Start bench cut. We're going prime Dirk, prime Jokic, prime Porzingis, healthy Porzingis.
Porzingis getting cut. Yeah, Porzingis
I thought that was gonna be a little dark horse.
Dirk is gonna be my starter. Yeah, I think because Dirk had that 1 year while we didn't three-peat. When I was with the Spurs. So
right.
I just think I take Dirk. He doesn't get talked about enough because I think he could have did a lot of things that the Joker does as far as passing because neither one of them can play defense.
Right.
So, but yeah, I go with Dirk to start, bench Jokic, and then cut Porzingis. That's an easy one, dude.
Yeah.
Porzingis was like, you go.
Talented guy, but yeah, not Dirk and Jokic right there. And so, all right, so you think the last one was easy?
I know this one's gonna be hard.
The last one, Magic, Braun, and Mike. Start bench cut.
Start Mike. Cut Magic. Braun coming off the bench.
Braun coming off the bench.
The thing about it is people will get mad at you saying that is because MJ gonna start.
Right.
He's my GOAT.
That's what it is.
And so I Braun, what he's able to do physically, he's Magic 3.0, not
right.
2.0, but 3.0. And people always get upset when you talk about former legends. Sometimes there are people better than the former people. And it's okay.
Right.
Because you think about the cars we have now, they're probably better than the cars we had in the past, right?
Right.
Things get better. And I just think, you know, with LeBron, they both 6'9". They both can handle the rock. They both get up down the floor. Think about it. LeBron's faster. He's stronger, and he definitely jumps higher.
Right.
And neither one of them are really good three-point shooters.
Right.
But LeBron improved as he's gotten older, so has Magic. But I just take LeBron. Just for
To piggyback off of that question, did you see, just randomly, did you see what Anthony Edwards said
I
about
saw it.
Yeah, how do you feel about just the new age of basketball,
You know,
integrating with the old school
here's the
basketball?
thing that he has to understand. The way the basketball was played, it was totally different. How we had, you know, illegal defense where you can be high side. So basketball looks slow. And don't get me wrong, they play a little bit fast because all they do is shoot threes, so the game looks faster.
Right.
But I would, like, for me, I want you to think about this. You talk about this is going to instill in the Minnesota Timberwolves. All Anthony Edwards is a J.R. Ryder 2.0.
That's wild.
Think about it. When J.R. Ryder was with Minnesota, he's doing the same things Anthony Edwards doing now. Am I lying? Think about it. So he can't
I'm gonna say you're lying.
he can't sit up here and say that people are not. Dude, you a copycat of a dude you just put on the team. So I don't think he really understands. And plus, you know, after
Is there like a civil war right now between these
No.
generations of basketball?
No, I you know, for me, I just think some guys, you know, they're brash, they're egotistical, and I don't mind them saying that. Shit, you know, I always think I'm the best six man that ever played this game, I'm like, and that's just my opinion.
Right.
You know, because I'm like, and then we go, how many rings the other six man have? Never won the award.
Right.
Fuck y'all for not giving me an award. But you know, it's just for me. I was always on good teams, but a lot of times I ain't playing the fourth quarter. I didn't try to play in the fourth quarter.
No, for real.
So, but yeah, I just think he just has his opinion. He doesn't
He's the guy
understand
right
how,
now, you know,
how
yeah.
good some guys were because he didn't watch, you know, and that's the thing. You got to watch someone to understand if they really were good or not. So, but that is a good comparison, right?
Right.
Y'all remember
no,
J.R. Ryder?
Hey man, I'm not going that far. At this point, I'm about to AI some shit and make a video.
Watch it. You
game
remember how high J.R. Ryder used to jump? I'm telling you, J.R.
He was elite.
He's J.R. Ryder 2.0. Athletic as hell. Yeah, but
We'll give him that. Beautifully said, man. So our last thing we do here on this Arts Money Couch, we ask all of our guests to put us on to three different things. It could be a restaurant, it could be a book, it could be, you know, a philosophy, it could be whatever. We're just asking for three different things.
you know, it's weird that when you put on the three different things, for me, I keep my life so simple now because I want to have the ability to just move. What I mean by that is, like, when you play basketball, you on lockdown from September to June, you know?
Right.
And for me, I think if the three things is just like learn how to cook.
Okay.
You know, because cooking is peaceful. And
I definitely agree with that one.
And you can be able to create something. You can be able to, you know, say, I did that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Especially if it tastes good.
Right. Instant
Yeah.
accomplishment right there.
And I think I put you on. You probably already read it. There's a book called
we'll see.
"Things My Teacher Didn't Teach Me."
I never read that one.
Yeah, it's basically a book about, you know, all the Black accomplishments that aren't talked about.
Okay.
You know, from the traffic light to the wash machine to the first person who ever did an open heart surgery.
Right.
So that's one of the things that
All in one book. Okay.
Yeah. And it talks about how it even talks about, let's say, Helen Keller, how nasty she was to people. Talks about, you know, how even though he freed the slaves, he had like 30 slaves himself still.
Yeah.
So it's just a good book. Things my teacher didn't tell me.
Right.
Something like, and then for me is to, you know, we always talk about. I'm gonna go back on the basketball. We always talk about the GOATs. We talk about LeBron. We talk about Kobe. We talk about MJ. I want people to really do the research on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and understand what he had to go through
Right.
and what he did for, you know, people basketball, and how him and Bill Russell came together. You know, people don't understand it's also about Bill Russell. Bill Russell, it was a moment where he went to go shoot a commercial. And it was him, someone else, and a white girl in the commercial. He found out the white girl was making more money than him. She was just a stand-in.
Right.
He's like, man, fuck this, I'm out. It's like, you're not going to disrespect me, and I'm the star, and let some little white girl who ain't got. And I think, and it goes to show you what all these people, not even just basketball, baseball too, and football, what all these black, because I feel like sometimes athletes of this day, they take it for fucking granted. You know, I remember every time I saw a legend, I would just go up and say thank you. No, I'm like, hey man, thank you for the pass.
Right.
You got to sit there and have a damn conversation with, but just acknowledge them. Now, you know, guys now, they'll look at legends and keep walking like, dude, you need to thank this motherfucker because you making $30 million because of him.
Right.
And that's what I think every state, understand your past so you can understand what's going on now. And that's one of the things, even like, you know, for me, I learned that from the moment I got in the league because I met some people like, who is this? And it ain't like I could pick up my phone back then because there was no cell phone. Just understand the people who came before you and the things they had to do to get you where you are. And that's just the three things, man.
That's the three things. So we got learn how to cook, things my teacher didn't tell me, and understand your past so you can go towards your future.
Yeah, exactly. You said it better than me.
Hey, man, we going to end on that note. Big Shot, appreciate you pulling up. You know what I'm saying? This
Thank you, brother.
A delight, my G. We got to do this again for real, man.
Hey, like the Wanda Sykes, you motherfucker.
Right?
You.
Oh, it's funny, man. We signing up. Yes, sir, man. Go ahead, like, subscribe, do all that cool content shit that y'all be doing, and then just run it back and take all the gems in again. Yes, sir. Yo, what's up, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed that last episode. Appreciate you watching, and I want you guys to be a part of this Aux Money community. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all with the next episode.